Hi, everyone. Good day, and welcome to this episode of Keeping It Simple AI, Kiss AI, where I really try and cut to the chase, get rid of the overwhelm so that everybody can use AI to accomplish their dreams, but also be very clear that AI is not perfect and there are harms and can easily identify the things to look out for. Today, I'm excited to welcome Joel Dean, my second guest in the Start with AI series. And Start is all about persons who have been thinking about entrepreneurial dreams, whether it's starting a business, launching an app, writing a book, and you just can't get over that inertia, overthinking, analysis paralysis. You're afraid of not having enough capital, not having enough knowledge. And based on where we are today, AI can play a key role in breaking through those barriers. So again, let me just quickly go through the framework and then we'll get into it. So S is about how do we spot opportunities or problems leveraging AI tools. T is about how you test and create a prototype or something to test really quickly. A, automate and scale. R, run the business. And T, tweak and grow. Nothing is ever perfect. But the key part of that acronym is the verb start and actually acting and getting going, because thinking doesn't create value. Acting and starting creates value. I am so excited to welcome Joel Dean today because he has recently started on his I shouldn't say on his AI journey. That's not true because Joel has been in the AI space for quite some time. Today, he's the founder and CEO of a company called AppGenius, and is also working on his own AI app called Joyful Journey. And I'll allow Joel to get into that. And he's also a global shaper. And before diving into the entrepreneurial world, spent time at WordPress and Tumblr. And Joel lives in Kingston, Jamaica. So the reason that we connected was because when I was CEO of the foundation and we were working on having young people embrace digital careers and not just want to be lawyers and doctors, great professions, but they just didn't know about other professions, particularly those in the technology and digital space. Found out about Joel Dean and our board wanted to meet him and I wanted to meet him, and we're so fascinated by this concept. I mean, Joel, you were working remotely even before the pandemic, right?
Yeah. I've been working remotely since like 2014, over 10 years. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Joel had this amazing balance in terms of living in his dream country, Jamaica, while leveraging his amazing technology expertise and serving global companies. And so that's how we met. But now Joel is a full-fledged entrepreneur. And so we're going to start with Joel. Please tell us about what made you make this leap into entrepreneurship, and tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since you've started this new journey.
Thanks for the warm welcome, Nadeen. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. When I finished college in around, I think it was 2013, right at that stage when I finished college, I had won this mobile app competition called Digital Jam. And it was a competition that was put on by the Jamaican government and the World Bank. So at the time, 200 Jamaicans gathered at the Jamaica Conference Center with their ideas, and we presented it to an international panel of judges and some local experts as well. And my idea at the time was called the pothole positioning system. because in college, my grand dream was solving the problems of potholes in the country. So I created
Thank
this
you.
idea. Me and my friends, we drove to Kingston to present it. We didn't plan to win because we were rural students from NCU. We were like, oh, we'll probably get a grocery voucher or something. We were just like tinkering with technology. We didn't have any big dreams, but we liked to compete to showcase that we
Yeah.
were good. And I remember that day when Michael Koff went on the stage and he called the name and he was like, the winner is the pothole positioning system. And I was just like, what? And they were like, you have won $1 million. And we were like, what? So
Wow.
our entire college lives were changed. Like some of my friends were able to pay their tuition. I had a broken laptop. I bought a new laptop. I was able to visit my uncle in Boston and tour Harvard and MIT. It was like our lives were just changing that moment. And in that
Wow.
moment, I was just like, okay, so you're telling me that a student from Manchester side, Clarendon side of the country, I can utilize my skills, earn really good money, and make impact across the globe. Well, sign me up. So that is where I really started that journey. And I think the following year in 2013, I won that competition in 2012. In 2013, I went on a startup initiative to Chile with private and public sector members, and we toured Startup Chile, and having that experience, seeing how startups operated really inspired me, and I wanted to have my own startup. So I wanted to turn PPS into a startup, but one, it wasn't easy to get funding. Two, I was pretty young, around 20. And three, after a while, my parents were like, hey, you need to get a job. We sent you to college for 4 years. You need to get out of our house.
Get a job.
So I got a job initially in Jamaica, but I had another friend from college. He was my mentor. And I was like, hey, where are you working? And I found out he was working for this fancy US company and he was making a lot of money. I was like, what? You can live in Jamaica and make so much money online? And he was like, yeah, you can sign up. So I started applying to jobs. And that is where I ventured into the international tech scene because I realized that these US companies were paying 5, 6, 10 times Jamaican companies. So I was like, oh, I will earn more and be more exposed. So that was the start of my journey into the remote work world. I did that for 10 years. But after around 10 years, you're doing the same thing over and over. You're going from company to company to company. I am doing fancy trips. They're great. But after a while, you want to be tied to a bigger mission, to really make impact and create something of your own. And I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So that's when I took the plunge. I took the plunge last year to leave that world behind and start AppGenius. So I registered the company in the US and here I am today. Yeah.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. It's been a journey. Being an entrepreneur is not easy, but
The
I can't go
entrepreneurship
back.
road.
Even when it gets hard, I'm like, should I get a job? And when I look at the jobs, I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. I think this is what I'm meant to do. So I'll take the hardships. Yeah.
I totally understand how you feel.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about AppGenius and then the joyful
AI journal. Yeah.
journal app.
Yeah. So AppGenius is the name of the company. It's literally like a holding company just for my ideas. And right now, the core idea is a joyful AI journal. The reason why I created the joyful AI journal is even though I've had a lot of successes in my career, I have always had mental health challenges just growing up because I came from a really volatile, part of Jamaica in Clarendon. There was always a lot of violence around me. So leveraging schooling and being brilliant was my escape from all of that. But one of the things I've learned over the years is it doesn't really matter how brilliant you are if you are not in a safe setting, like a family setting, a community setting, then that impacts your mental wellness. So I would say around 8 years ago, I realized that, okay, I'm having mental health challenges. I really needed help. So started seeing a psychologist in Kingston. And that was the most transformative experience of my life because I didn't even realize how much help I needed until I started going to therapy monthly. And I was able to work on a lot of the challenges I had while growing up that was impacting me professionally and just in other parts of my life. However, what I realized after being in therapy for, I would say I've been in therapy for almost 9 years, is that it's very expensive. In Jamaica right now, my therapy sessions cost $12,500 per hour. That's very inaccessible for a lot of people. That's one. And two, a lot of the mental health exercises that my psychologist gives me to do, I don't really do them. Not because I don't want to do them, but because I'm not walking around with the paper. And when I get anxious sometimes, it's not really easy to stop to do the exercise. So even before the AI wave, I always wanted to create an app to do these kind of exercises, such as gratitude setting, intention setting at the start of the day, or my most favorite exercise, the thought record. It's a structured exercise that allows you to go from anxious to calm. You can work through any complex negative experience or troubling thought in a structured method that psychologists put a stamp of approval on. So when I saw ChatGPT's launch and language models, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. Because I saw that one of the most powerful capabilities of LLMs is they can take unstructured data and turn it into structured data. They can take voice and turn it into text, text and turn it into voice. So I was like, this is the perfect idea for a journal. And I also realized that in the moments when I'm not able to see my psychologist, sometimes I just need a quick tool that can just help me with my mental health. So yeah, that's the reason why I created Joyful. It was kind of like solving my own needs at first, but then I realized that I think I have a better shot at having a successful company if it's something I am doing for myself. I will stick out all of the tough parts, the hardships, because I really love the idea, because the idea helps me so much. And I literally use the app every day. So that's the cool part. Yeah.
So that's a massive testament to the app itself, right, Joel? Because you're using it.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your honesty and vulnerability in terms of your experience, particularly important in the Jamaican context where I think mental health is just starting to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm encouraged to see that. And just today, I actually saw a post on Instagram. It was just reposting the Harvard article, which talks about the top 10 uses of ChatGPT, and therapy was one. And so I retweeted, re-IG'd, because they have that functionality now. And I said, fascinating and scary. I love it because of the expense. I know for a fact that many persons are not getting the mental health care that they need. And then scary also because if it's just somebody who's like trying to make money and putting something together, as opposed to you're coming from a place where you have the experience, you know what's needed, and you're building with purpose and love, then that can go left. That can get very dangerous.
Yeah.
But talk to me, if you will, around you have the patient perspective. Did you do anything to get the clinical perspective when creating this app?
Of course. So I think because psychology and getting mental wellness is so important to me, I do my best to like set certain boundaries. So for example, it's not a therapist. That's the first thing. It's not a replacement for therapy. I do not market it or advertise it as that. What's interesting is in the last couple of days, the state of Illinois has actually banned AI therapy because there are apps who are trying to pose as therapists. And when I saw it, I was like, this is really sad because there is so much goodness that the space, really high quality apps can provide from like a help standpoint. but there are bad actors in the space who are just role-playing therapy just to make money. So one of the things that I did was I've been speaking with my psychologist about this idea for years. So that's one of the most important things. I've also I've shown her the idea, gotten her feedback. So I'm interfacing with professionals in this space. I also follow a bunch of the world's top psychologists to see their feedback about AI and its therapeutic benefits, etc. And I've done like substantial research. Like I've read a lot of research papers on my own, utilizing deep research to understand the mechanisms of how a journal can help someone to process mental wellness challenges without sounding like a therapist. And that's the reason why I've created a journal, and the journal has exercises, because these exercises are things you could do on a piece of paper, but the AI is kind of talking you through these exercises. So it kind of feels a little bit therapeutic, but it's because the AI is giving you a medium that allows it to be easier. So what I've done so far is leveraging mechanisms from cognitive behavioral therapy from the angle of Socratic style questioning, where the AI is not giving you an answer to your problems. You know the answers to your challenges if you dig deep enough. So most of what my journal does is literally just ask you questions. How are you feeling today? What caused you to feel this way? What do you think you could do to improve? It's just a bunch of questions and you're talking. And then when you get to a question where it's like, have you considered doing so? And then your answer like, whoa, I just had a breakthrough. Thank you so much, AI. And you're like, no, you kind of did that yourself. The language model is literally just a mirror, you know? So that's the approach I have taken. Most companies don't really take that kind of approach, but I feel like that approach is just more protective because it's utilizing guided exercises. And I have read the research papers that these psychologists have published while creating the app.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. And the app is multimodal, Joel?
Yeah, so it's multimodal. It allows, you can type, you can utilize voice. I have a new set of features coming out. So I do have a real-time conversation features coming in the next week or two. That's going to be a major feature where you can talk to the AI. But again, it's not a therapist. It's more like a coach. You can talk through the exercises, and at the end of the conversation, the AI will generate a journal entry. Yes. So it's like you can talk through the journal entry. It poses the same kind of questions in a more conversational style. So it's multimodal because it just leverages, just a bunch of input and output types that will be most appealing to the user depending on the situation or the kind of exercise they want to do.
All right. Awesome. Fantastic. And it sounds like, so if this is not limited to persons who believe they have mental health challenges, because those exercises that you're describing, I mean, I could use that to talk me through an overthinking episode.
Exactly. But you can use it for things. Gratitude practices are one of the most important things that we can do for our mental wellness each day. Everyone needs gratitude because sometimes we look at our life situation, like where we are, and we're having challenges, but we're not looking at everything that's working. And at the start of the day, sometimes if you start your day and the first thing you do is open your email or go on social media, your day is, or WhatsApp, your day is basically hijacked. But if you do an intention setting exercise, then nothing can throw your day off because you have an intention. You know what the core thing you want to get out of your day. So when everyone is trying to pull you into all of these directions, you have a core set of affirmations and values that are going to bring you throughout your day. So that's the angle that the app is coming from. It's like, here I am as a tool that can help you with your mental wellness. And if you are also going through anxious thoughts or overthinking, etc., you can do a structured exercise to work through this thought. So that's the market I'm going for, but I'm pretty passionate about it, so I think I'll see what happens there. Yeah.
I can feel the passion, and I did download it. One of the other things I love is that with, you said it was $12,000 for an hour
Yeah, exactly.
to which which is about what, 100 US. I can't do the math off my head, but in the event that in between sessions something happens, then this also facilitates the ability to have an interaction to help with groundedness and mental
Exactly.
wellness without the need to get in to see the clinician. So congratulations again. Love,
Appreciate
love,
it.
love the idea. I am a big journalist, not journalist, journaler. I have,
Yeah.
I think about 14 journals that
Wow.
I've had from childhood,
Nice.
and
I only
random
have five, so
story.
that's really nice. Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, I took a solo trip to Strawberry Hill, and I brought all my journals. And I was reading through them because I've never read through them, because sometimes you're like, oh, that's too cringe
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I know that feel. Yeah,
my
yeah,
so
yeah.
I
Yeah.
read through all of them, and it was fascinating, and it re-inspired me to start journaling. I'm a pen and paper person, but I definitely have said I need a digital
Yeah.
journal
I
because
combine
nowadays,
both, to be honest. So I love
yeah,
free form journaling, the papers, especially. So I have these things, I call them just mind dumps, where I just want to get everything
yes,
out of my mind. I will write like 8 to 9 pages, like a lot.
I
Just
know,
it's free, and you're just like scribbling away, and there's no one to judge you. It's just you and your thoughts, and just putting pen to paper. There is just so much clarity after that. So it
yes,
also feels so safe because it's just on this piece of paper. It's not connected to anything else. So for like my
yeah,
deepest thoughts, I leverage that medium. But for like day-to-day living, like for example, I'm driving my car just now and an error came up, and I was like, oh, why is my car giving this error? And my wife was like, hey, everybody's cars have errors. You don't have to, think that you're the only one who could have this kind of issue. Like I would journal about that because it's so surface level and just something that is kind of, it doesn't really have to impact me deeply. But if I don't really
yes,
address it in that moment, it could end up meaning something else. So
yeah.
those are some of the things that I journal about, like just these minor things that I should be grateful that I have a car that that has a warning system. That's cool. I got a warning and I can take it to the service center
And I can
for
do
them to
something
look at it,
about it.
you know? So
Yeah.
always a way to reframe things. And I love the digital tools for those moments.
Well, I'm gonna try the digital. I'm gonna and let you know, because I find now that I can't write quickly enough to get out all the thoughts I have.
Yeah.
So I'm not writing, and probably it's because I'm not journaling every single day. So when I sit down, it's like, but
Yeah.
I will when I'm in the car, as an example, and I want ChatGPT to do an exercise, I'll just do the voice note, and
Yeah.
I don't have to be perfect. So sometimes maybe it's just from going to school, when I'm writing in my journal, I feel like I have to spell properly, and
Yeah.
it's not as it's raw, but it's still trying to, one, keep up with how fast my mind is processing, and
Exactly.
I'm not.
Exactly. Yeah.
But when I talk to Chat GPT, I can just blurt out things, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll be like, oh, but I forgot to mention this part. And, make sure you take that into
Yeah.
consideration. Fortunately, now it understands a little patois. And so I'm excited to test out Joyful AI, Joel,
Yeah,
and I'll
sure.
give you,
I'll let you know. I'll let you know when the new version is out. It's going
yes,
to be very amazing. I really went all out. So I'm releasing it in probably like a week. So I'll send
okay,
you a message when it's out so you can see the experience.
awesome.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
All right. So let's switch gears a little bit and jump into the start with AI framework. And feel free to bring experiences from other aspects of your journey
Most
outside
definitely.
of a joyful AI. And you don't have to have something for every letter. The idea is being selective or just leveraging the tools that are relevant for your journey and can help you to move faster, be more efficient, get over your own inertia. So we're going to start with S, which is spotting the problem, opportunity, doing that initial upfront research. Tell me about whether you leveraged any AI product solutions in bringing joyful AI to life.
Yeah, of course. One of my favorite solutions across all the major models is deep research. And I love deep research because I love to do research. I've always loved it over the years. And when I realized that they created these AI agents that can scour the web, I think Gemini's research tool goes even to like probably 120 different websites. I've seen it at those levels. So what I did was I leveraged it to like do research to figure out, okay, how many people in the world are like suffering from like mental wellness and mental health issues? How many psychologists are there? What are the challenges being faced in the United States? Because that's my primary target market. It's primarily Jamaica and the United States. Jamaica because I live here, but the US is the market with the most purchasing power. So I really like their market. And deep research was able to really give me a lot of insights on all of the different conditions that people have in the mental health space. So I really love it because you can have it pull the research papers and the citations. Those are really excellent now. When these AI products just came out, they had serious citation problems and they used to hallucinate a lot, but they don't hallucinate as much now. So having these citations are really good. Also, I allow deep research to kind of find, okay, what are the latest pieces of research that is taking place in the psychology field that involve technology? And I saw a lot of research that was leveraging AI's assistance in mental wellness. So leveraging those tools, deep research tools, I was able to spot trends and a bunch of different information that validated that this need that I have for myself is not only for me, but it's also something that is impacting the world. And after doing all of that, months later, that's when I saw that graphic you saw, the Harvard, that graphic about the most popular use cases. And over the last couple of days, even I think New York Times put out some articles. A bunch of articles are coming out. A lot of them aren't really positive articles about the AI therapy, but it does showcase that a lot of people are turning to AI for help. That also gives me motivation because I cannot actually use AI to harm people intentionally because I know what it's like to suffer from mental health challenges that could have derailed my entire tech career, could have derailed my marriage, everything. But because I had my psychologist, she helped me through all of the challenges and was there in my corner to help me work through everything that I needed help with. So leveraging those tools validated my claims, not only from like a mission standpoint, but also from a market standpoint, which is very important. In the last couple of weeks, I've gotten subscribers from Norway, New Zealand, the US, Canada. So I'm here in Jamaica and people globally are subscribing to my app. So I know that there is a market for the solution. And deep research allowed me to access that. I use deep research in ChatGPT and Google's Gemini.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I love deep research. I
Yeah.
actually had to go up to pro one time because I had maxed out my deep
Whoa,
research.
nice.
I know. But at
Yeah.
$200 a month, I had to quick
Yeah.
step back down to plus.
I'm literally paying for one massive AI subscription right now. which is to Claude. I pay for a $200 subscription, but it's to their most ultimate coding tool. They have an AI agent that I just talk to with my voice and it writes my code.
Okay.
It's like super accurate. So I just went out on the max plan because I'm like, this $200 is going to pay back for itself.
Love that. So then, Joel, you have jumped into the T, which is the test the idea, creating a prototype rapidly, or actually creating the product very quickly so that you can test something. I am blown away with the vibe coding apps, which you don't need as a super experienced engineer with global companies. But talk to us, since
I still use them because they're really good to get things off the ground. So from like a vibe coding standpoint, I have used Lovable. Lovable is like the best for spinning up websites. So I really enjoy Lovable. I have used V0. That's another vibe coding kind of platform that can spin up front ends as well. There's this other platform called Bolt that I've leveraged as well. So I like all of those platforms because even though I know how to write the code, sometimes I don't want to work through the engineering side of things. I want to use my speech to text tool and just talk to the AI and it just works on it for me. So I have leveraged Lovable in like building the first version of my website. However, because I have a mobile app, there are vibe coding tools for mobile apps, but they aren't as advanced as yet. So I had to kind of do things the old way where I hired a designer and we worked through every single screen. So we did the low fidelity sketches, just drawing things on like a whiteboard, going through all the flows. Then we did high fidelity designs of how the screens are going to look. And we did that in Figma. And once the Figma designs were done, we animated those designs. So that's a part of the prototyping step as well. Having the idea, animating it to see if it flows well. So we had all of the journaling screens and components like being animated on the screen. And then once that was done, I went to AI and I poured all of those screenshots into AI and basically I just spoke to it about each screen and it wrote the code. So
and this was in Claude?
So at that time, so I've been jumping models over the past like 2 years. So at this time last year, I think it was in Claude 3.5 Sonnet, I think was one of the models I used. And I would take a screenshot of the design and just put it into AI and it would just like write the code for me. So that's one of the most important parts of like vibe coding. You can actually take screenshots of existing systems or designs and pass that screen into AI and it can write the code.
And so how long did this process take?
So the initial version,
first MVP.
I feel like my first MVP took probably 2 months, 3 months. And this was because I was really working through all of the minor details, but because I also had a consultation project doing, because over the past year, I have to pay the bills. So I had to take on some consultation work. So that took me around, like, I would want to say 3 months. But the pothole app I recently created just for the fun, that initial MVP took me 3 weeks. Like 2 to 3 weeks. It was really fast. And I think that's why I did that project. Because I had the idea from like I was in college and I was like, I wonder if I could just use AI to relaunch this idea just for the giggles. That's the reason why I built that app. It's not even going to be like a company or anything. I literally launched the idea just for fun, posted it on TikTok and it went viral. So
I was going to say it's not for giggles. Potholes are a real problem.
Yeah.
When I do my AI workshops and I talk about Waze and I ask people how many people use Waze and how many people want to go back to life before Waze.
Yeah.
And then, all the speeders and police avoiders are like, oh, let me think about that. Let me tell you something. Like, these potholes are so much of a problem that yes, this app is more than just giggles.
Yeah. So that's how I kind of go about doing just that prototyping phase. AI is really amazing for prototyping, but the most important thing to do is to choose the best platform based on your skill set and also based on what you're trying to produce. The best things to prototype right now are web apps. So the mobile apps, there are platforms that can do it. There's this one called Roark. I think it's RORK. And there's this one called, I think, Vibe Coding something. But the most stable tools for prototyping is like Lovable and Bolt and V0. Those I can, if someone is like, hey, I want to vibe code an idea, I would say, yeah, use these tools.
Yeah. I love Lovable.
Yeah, Lovable is really good.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into A, which is automate and scale. Once you have a rhythm with certain things, you want to automate the repetitive things and scale up. Are you at the point where you've leveraged AI to automate any of the processes in your business?
So I have used AI to help with some amount of automation. I think the things I utilize automation most for is marketing, some of the marketing efforts. Like, so I have slideshows that I generate that I share inspiring quotes, etc. I normally would have to like go to TikToks and IG pages and like read through all of the posts and say, oh, this is inspiring. I like this post. I would want to write something like it. So I wrote an AI tool that basically scrapes. It goes to TikTok, reads like 100 posts, pull it to my computer. I utilize Gemini's vision capabilities, the models to like read the image, the actual post content, look at the amount of likes it got, how popular it was, and then I then put that into another AI call to just say, hey, rewrite a post like this. It's for LinkedIn, so I need it to be inspired. So I do that kind of stuff from an automation standpoint, but it's still a little bit manual because it's not like I just have these posts being generated and auto-posted. I still read every single post and I still tweak them as well. So I have that. I have another marketing tool. I haven't launched it, launched the output out as yet, but it basically generates a journaling exercise where the AI is talking with a person who is going through a challenge. So it's like a story and it looks like the app is actually like the person is talking to the app, but it's like fully automated. So I built that from scratch and that AI tool generates videos. So it looks like a video of the actual phone, like the user's messages popping up, then the AI responds, the user like an entire flow, and the AI does the analysis. All of it is like AI. I wrote it from scratch and I did the video generation frame by frame, audio processing using 11 labs. So on the back end, I'm utilizing voices from 11 labs, synchronizing the voices. So it's like a full-on video generation engine that I created.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you're gonna have to name those because I want to drop all the tools in the chat. And the web scraper tool you mentioned, you built that as well?
Yeah. I built it using this platform called Appify. Appify allows you to connect to Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and like pull information in. So I built a whole pipeline utilizing Appify to pull in some of the most popular pages into that pipeline so AI can analyze the various posts for inspiration. So I have these pipelines that I've written, but I haven't really fully used them as yet because I want my marketing to be very organic and authentic. So when I created them, I must be honest, I kind of wanted marketing on autopilot. Like I was like, oh, I don't care about marketing. I just want to pump these AI generated. I just want to put these AI generated videos out. And then I was just like, oh no, let me take a step back. What I'm building has soul. It has a real person behind it. And I also realized that a lot of people on TikTok, etc., they were getting tired of everyone using these AI videos and AI posts, etc. So I was like, okay, let me not throw out the big guns as yet. Let me kind of just wait. But they're in the toolkit, like I have them on my computer. So when it's time to leverage them, I can just press a button and just fire them up and they're ready to go.
Yeah. And those have commercialization opportunities
Who
as
knows?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
possibly. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just started following you on TikTok, loving your content, really
Appreciate it.
organic and
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah.
And so I think I saw you post on another platform, possibly LinkedIn or IG, about being on TikTok and how you can build a brand very quickly. I love the TikTok algorithm for that very reason, because I can curate what I want to see. I don't post, but I am able to curate what I want to see. And similarly, everyone has a shot to get a viral
It's very
video.
powerful, yeah.
So powerful.
And that's what happened with me. Like me and my wife, we challenge each other because we both like to create content. So when I started posting on TikTok, I had like 100 and something followers. And our followers were not growing. So we said, okay, for the month of July, even if we are sick, like even if the world is falling down, even if our baby is like screaming in our ears, like we don't care. We're gonna do one single post, you know?
Okay.
And we posted every single day for the month of July. And August the 1st is when I had that viral video with the pothole. And we were literally about to rush out the house, and I had the footage from going to fix the car. And fixing the car wasn't really even an exciting episode because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to spend so much money to fix this car. But I'm like, it's the only car I have, so I'm going to fix it. And I was like, oh, I haven't posted today. And I just jumped on my computer and just kind of like put the clips together and took out my mic and just did the voiceover. I posted it, expected like a couple thousand views. And then my phone started blowing up. I was like, wait. What? So then the virality came and I was like, whoa, it actually works. Like showing up consistently, you can build a massive audience online, but you have to be able to show up in a healthy way. You don't want to force yourself to post. So like even right now, I'm on a little hiatus, like just pausing a little bit while I'm gathering myself, figuring out my strategy before I do a lot of the posting on social media. So I feel like that's also a part of entrepreneurship as well. Like ensuring that, yes, you want to be consistent. Yes, you want to show up for the algorithm, but you want to do it in a very authentic way. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. So I'm hearing a few things: the importance of authenticity, the importance of putting in the work. There's a reason why the algorithm rewards consistency. You don't get anything if you actually don't, put in the work.
Exactly.
And then, of course, one of my favorite topics that I tell women is around partnership. Successful women have two options: either a supportive partner or none at all. And I absolutely love the way that you and your wife support each other. You guys have been together a long time, right? From you guys were little picnics.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember hearing that story when you came and presented to us in the foundation as well. And so the fact that that just came into the conversation completely authentically, love that as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So we've done STA. Now we're going to do R, which is run the business, the operational stuff, user support, marketing, finances. I did see you made a post about an accounting platform, I believe, that has made your life easy. So if you could just share with us anything that you've been using to run the business so you can continue to create and problem solve and ideate.
So that's a really important part of the startup. Like I realized early on that I couldn't be the jack of all trades. Like there were certain parts of the business that are very, very important to like not make mistakes or to like leave it just up to life, because my company could get in trouble. My reputation as well. I really care about my global reputation. And I registered a US startup. I'm going to register a Jamaican company as well. But I started out in the US because I just wanted to have a vehicle for my idea in case I ever needed funding or any other opportunities. The startup space for US startups is just more mature. So
Yes.
I did that registration. But with that registration comes drum roll, the IRS.
That's right. That's
And you
right.
cannot play games with the IRS. So
No, no.
that's when I started looking around. I'm like, okay, which firm am I going to leverage? And I found this startup firm in New York City, and the company is called Haven. And they're not just a platform. We have like a Slack channel together with like around 12 people. There are accountants in there, a bunch of different professionals. And every month they do my books for me. They handle my taxes, any other different filings. Like recently I had to figure something out with the IRS, and they told me to call them and what to do, etc. So that part of my business I have offloaded to that company because
Yes.
I don't want to think about it, and I don't want to have expertise in accounting and US tax laws because it's just too much for me to think about. So I did that. Then the rest of the company, I literally just run it with AI. I create chat GPT projects to create
Okay.
boundaries from like a context management standpoint. So I have projects for marketing, support, etc. I just talk to AI about the challenges I'm having and I create processes from those challenges. From a
Mm.
customer support standpoint, I built out my own customer support engine in the app that I'm launching out now, because most of the customer support tools, they have like really expensive subscriptions. So I was trying to integrate them and I was having challenges. Then I was like, wait. What if I spoke to AI about this customer support stuff and it wrote one for me? So I literally fired up Claude. I was like, hey, I want a customer support thing where I can talk to customers and etc. And he was like, great, let's do it. So AI wrote a customer support engine. So I basically just leverage AI to assist with all of the different processes from marketing to support to operations. And then the only thing I don't use AI to do is the accounting side of things. But I have I am vibe coding a personal accounting tool for my family that I'll integrate with the business accounts. What it's basically is a WhatsApp AI that we can take receipts of like supermarket runs, gas stuff, anything that we do in
Yes.
Jamaica, we can just send that through that WhatsApp AI and it just updates like a budget. And so we can track our spending. So that's something I'm working on for my family. I won't release it publicly. It's just like a personal, they are saying that we're in the rise of personal AI apps. So that's like
Yes.
our personal app. I literally call it like the Dean family app or something. So I'm building that app as well to like help, because because we are a small family running the company and managing the family. That also feels like a part of the operations as well, managing money and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm building that tool. So yeah, that's basically all I have for like running the company so far, because it's very small. Probably when the app starts to grow more, I'll start to see more opportunities for automation and also hiring.
You've done a lot. So when you say all I've done, very you've done a lot, and that's amazing. And I'm glad you brought up this point around personal AI, building tools that you aren't necessarily going to launch to the public, but they're
Yeah,
just there to help you manage your life. I have built a number of custom GPTs that are just for
nice.
me,
Yeah.
my resume fresher upper. I
Yeah,
do the thing where I take the pictures of the receipts as well and dump that into AI. And so there's an opportunity to build things just for yourself,
yeah.
to make your life easier,
Mm-hmm.
leveraging the same tools that you do for your business. So thanks for bringing that up. And then the last letter, T. tweak and grow because it's funny because I was reading about this backlash on GPT-5. I don't love GPT-5. I don't know that I hate it, but people don't like change, and so I think that is a little bit overblown.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
I saw that Sam Altman went in front of the Reddit users,
Yeah.
and it hit me. My God, this man has been failing and succeeding in public
Yeah.
since the launch of ChatGPT. And many times we don't do anything because we're afraid of that public failure. But he just is like him take it in back broad,
Yeah.
and he takes a feedback, and ultimately something better emerges. And it was such a reminder to me around why you just do it,
Yeah.
launch the imperfect thing.
Yeah.
You can only figure out what's wrong in the real world. You can't figure out what's wrong in your cave or in
Yeah.
the open AI offices. And to their credit, they've been doing that. They have not been perfect by any means. There are lots of things that still need to be addressed in terms of AI. But let me tell you something. They launched the imperfect, and I do admire that.
Yeah, and that's something I'm actually, working through even right now because I've been meaning to ship an update to my app for the longest while, and every single time I'm in like a perfectionist kind of trap, it's my wife always saves me. She always calls me out, and then I'll be like, "Oh no, but I'm not trying to be perfect." And then I'll be in my office like an hour later. I was like, "Oh yeah, she was right," so that's kind of like what I'm working through right now, and I think as entrepreneurs, some of the things that helps is processes. And
Yes.
one of the processes I learned at WordPress that I'm not really using right now that I have in my calendar and my tooling to use, and I'm going to start using it, is having bi-monthly updates. So you have a calendar set time when you have a cutoff of your features wherever you are, you stop
Yes.
and you ship an update to the Play Store and the App Store. And what that helps is you build up what they like to call a release cadence. Like a moment when you have a code freeze where you freeze the code, you tag it as a particular version, you do your QA, so you test the solution and you launch it out to users to gain feedback. And that's the phase I'm in now as I'm really gearing up to market the solution. It's still in its infancy. It's not able to take care of my family as yet. And I really would love for it to do that because balancing a startup and being a consultant, it's difficult sometimes because I really want to focus on the startup, but then
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to pay my bills. So, and I don't want to get funding as yet or ever if not necessary, because I don't want external influence in the company too early. So those are some of the thoughts there. So from a tweaking and testing standpoint, it's having release cadence and milestones, but most importantly, having feedback rituals as well. Customer support, marketing, and also like anonymous like user analytics. So you can look at some anonymous data of like, oh, are people opening the journal entries? Are people viewing the summaries, etc.? So one of the trickiest parts though is that because I have a journal, I have to do encryption and there's a lot of privacy involved. So it's also hard to do a lot of analysis. So I'm learning from like the greats like Anthropic and Claude and OpenAI. They have like research that they have put out how they create privacy centric pipelines to let AI help to analyze data in
Okay.
privacy centric ways that are bounded to US law and international law. So it's like learning as I go along. That's the most important thing. So the tweaking and the testing is, I'm still learning that phase because I want to put a great product out there that really represents Jamaican, intelligence and pride and showcases that Jamaica is also on the forefront of AI, but also no AI will be perfect. And I know for a fact that the tool I am building is still very controversial in a lot of spaces. for some people because it's still, folks still don't really want us talking to AI about our problems if the tool is not safe. So
Yes.
the only way for me to prove that it's safe is to launch it, to put it out there, to hold up to scrutiny as well, So, and that's the reason why I've been posting on TikTok as well, where I'm putting my face out there. And I've gotten a lot of negative comments since I've been posting. And
Right.
there were moments where I was afraid of that. But I literally had to I use my journal to talk through that about my fear of public backlash, etc. And when the videos went viral and I started seeing some of those comments, they didn't really hit me as hard as I thought they would because I'm building up that mental toughness, So yeah.
I love that. Influencers, you heard it here. That's another great use case because the TikTok and just the world
Yeah,
of
just
having a
social media,
public
yeah.
profile in general can be very challenging because you have the cyber bullies, right?
Yeah.
And so thank you for sharing that. I love that. A lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, including myself. Well, now I am an entrepreneur, but as I was making that shift, overthinking and analysis paralysis, especially someone who's been in consulting and a banker, was something that got in the way.
Yeah.
And so I wanted you to share some of the tips you have for people who want to start, but they're stuck in planning mode and they're paralyzed by fear. What tips do you have for them? And how can they leverage AI to overcome some of these mental barriers and start?
Yeah. Well, in this moment, I honestly have to be a cheerleader for my own product. Use Joyful AI Journal because it helps with overthinking, analysis paralysis, all of those challenges. Use the intentions at the start of the day because you can do an intention setting exercise to really set the tone for your day. If you are having a complex thought or challenge, you can use a thought record because a thought record breaks down whatever complex challenge you're having, utilizing structured workflows. You utilize a structured workflow that is golden standard CBT best practice. And most important,
CBT?
cognitive behavioral therapy. So that's a golden standard for treating anything that's mental health based globally. And do gratitude practices. A lot of times when we're stuck in these modes, it's always these things. When we address intention setting, gratitude practices, and having thought records for complex things, having those three tools, you can literally do anything. Like any goal that you really set your mind to, and you're actually equipped to do the goal. So I wouldn't go into a thought record or a gratitude practice and just randomly say, I want to become a doctor in 20 days. That's not really how it works. But I do have my own goals within my domain, within my area of specialization. And I still second guess myself, even with all the years of experience. Sometimes I'm second guessing myself and I go into my gallery and I have to pinch myself. I'm like, bro, you were at Davos last year in front of Bill Gates and Sam Altman. I sat among the greats. So I have to remind myself when I'm second guessing my work, So leveraging these tools is what brings me back to reality so that I don't allow the fears to get a hold of me. So I think focusing on just the mental wellness and then planning is very important. That's the biggest thing that I have to really work on because I spent 10 years having a boss, having a manager. Now I manage myself and it's great because I get to go to the gym for 2 hours or 3 hours each day if I want. but again, I need to, one of the most important things you can do is have a calendar and just have time slots, a reminder, something that jolts you back to reality. And I use ChatGPT as my to-do list sometimes too. I will just have a running conversation where I talk about what I need to work on. And it's really good at breaking things down. That also helps. So removing that clutter from the mind, doing the planning and the mental health work, that's the most important thing I think, to be an entrepreneur. based on just all of the uncertainty that it entails.
Love that. Love that. And I think now is a great time for the app because of the trends that we're seeing in terms of ChatGPT, but also because we have realized that physical and mental wellness are super important and it has to be both. And they're linked, right? But you have to pay attention to both of them, especially since the conversations around longevity are becoming much more common and living for a long time, but having a good quality of life as you're living that long time. So it's kind of like you have entered this space in one of those moments where I think there'll be incredible upside. Really excited for you as a fellow Jamaican. I mean, when you tell me said Norway and New Zealand, I'm like,
we culture. And trust me, the next version of the app, I'm really going to showcase the Jamaican culture in it. So I have some big plans for it to really showcase Jamaican culture. Like I'm a proper patriot. Like I'm really proud to be Jamaican, but I'm also even just more proud to represent Jamaican like intellect and like specialization, because we're known for music and athletics, etc. But I do strongly believe that we have really, really brilliant people, and that our people are powerful, our students are powerful, our teachers are amazing, our schools are amazing. But sometimes the rhetoric and just a lot that's happening in this space, folks don't really feel that way. So that's also a part of my mission. I really want that energy to be revitalized throughout society. And I do hope that the AI, leveraging AI, will be able to showcase that to fellow Jamaicans and the world.
Yes. I mean, Joel, oh my gosh, all of that, right? Because you're playing a major role in the AI space in the national context with the organization that you chair, and I've just become chair of the Jamaica Artificial Intelligence Association. You hit on this point around we're known for our culture and our sports and for food. And by the way, Jamaica, as small as we are, one of the most iconic countries in the world. And but our intellect is also, in my view, as superior as other things, and it gets overshadowed. But when you look at the diaspora, the Jamaican diaspora, and what they've been able to accomplish, if you look at any boardroom or political map in Jamaica, these politicians and these CEOs have links and roots back to Jamaica oftentimes. And I won't call all the names because we all can use ChatGPT, but we're in there. And with the democratization of access, there's still challenges, right? But we have an opportunity to showcase that intellect that has always been there. And going back to the point you made about you and your wife being competitive, that's a big part of it, I think, because we are incredibly competitive.
I think so. And that's the reason why I haven't left Jamaica. Kind of like, I know if I moved to Silicon Valley, this would have been easier. I would have probably gotten funding by now with the swimming in cash. But I think just by staying in Jamaica and really trying to build from here on the ground, there will be things that I can infuse in the AI I'm creating that will make it really powerful globally. And as I'm on TikTok, I don't know, but I think the TikTok algorithm loves Jamaica. And the reason why I think so, no, I've seen it. I've seen it culturally. When I see how powerful Patois is globally, I'm like, this is untapped. People don't realize how powerful our culture is. And the reason why it's so untapped is because we're not creating digital solutions, marketing those solutions globally. I think most of our challenges here, if we were able to create solutions that bring more money in, that wasn't only tourism, but like digital solutions that require little to no capital. I started this company with $0, almost $0. Like I did have money to register it, etc. But if I were to start, I couldn't start a supermarket or a gas station. I
No,
can't.
no,
Yeah,
the
so
capital that we would need.
the need is millions of dollars, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big, I mean, we could have a conversation just about that, our culture
Yeah.
and the sovereignty and how we make sure we protect it. But
Yeah.
we are, we are able to control that from an AI standpoint. But
Yeah.
what remains true, Joel, from the day I met you to now is your commitment to, you could have gone a foreign, you could have
Yeah.
got a long time, but you have not.
Yeah.
And that's why I love working with you. I wanted to interview you. I admire you and your family. And I thank you for being humble. I thank you for always giving back. I thank you for continuing to
Appreciate it.
inspire.
Yeah.
And yes, let me know when the update drops. I already
Of
have
course. Yeah.
the app. And in closing, I just want you to leave one sentence or quote to inspire our listeners or viewers today to start building with AI. What would you want to share with them?
So the quote I want to share is AI is the greatest technology equalizer of all time. This quote was shared by Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, around a week ago. And the reason why that quote stood out to me is because I shared a similar quote around 2 or 3 years ago about the internet being the greatest equalizer of all time. Because the internet was, for me, was the greatest equalizer because I stayed in Jamaica and I was able to access remote jobs, international jobs that allowed me to literally travel the world for free. Like I have gone to so many countries just because the job benefits allowed me to actually travel to Dubai, London, Italy, bunch of different places globally because of software. And then AI kicked the internet out, and it is, I think, the greatest equalizer because I wouldn't be able to be a consultant and actually run my startup at the same time. The amount of mental capacity it takes to write code, write 100-page proposals, every single thing, I wouldn't be functioning without AI right now. I would have a job by now. I'd be like, oh, I have a family, I need to get a job. But AI, I don't know how, but AI always saves me. Every single time I have a complex deliverable for my consultation work, a model upgrade comes, write it. I'm like, oh crap, I have this deadline. What am I going to do? Then I see Claude 4 or GPT-5, and I'm like, yes, more intelligence, you know? So I think it's like the greatest equalizer, but that comes with responsibility too. For you to access it, there are accessibility challenges, etc. But I think AI meets everyone where they're at. And the most important thing to do is, put your phone aside, spend some focused time working with AI, talking with AI, not just generating work, but also learning and understanding your domain deeper as you have a companion for all sorts of different kinds of work. So, yeah, I strongly agree with the quote from Jensen about AI being the greatest technology equalizer of all time. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joel.
Most definitely. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Super insightful and
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah, we
And
can do a part 2 in a couple months. We'll
yeah,
see what
man,
happens.
let's do a part 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a date. Thank you again
Yeah.
and all the best.
All right. Thanks, Nadine. Bye.
Bye.